Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate General Civil War. We've just fought the Battle of Chancellorsville and won at the Battle of Chancellorsville, and we also fought the Battle of Salem Church, where we were victorious as well. We did lose 26,000 casualties at Chancellorsville, which is pretty rough if you think about it. It's not going to be easy to replace those casualties. We actually won't be able to. So we lost 26,000 men between Salem Church and Chancellorsville. We were given 13,000 soldiers to replace those casualties. And if we go up here, even if we were to spend a big chunk of our reputation, we would still end up being about 5,000 soldiers short of replacing all of our casualties. That's okay, though, because we don't have to replace them all right away. We've got another battle to fight before Gettysburg, so we've got the Battle of Second Winchester, which we'll be fighting here today. And then after that comes the Battle of Gettysburg. I'm kind of disappointed Brandy Station isn't in here as well, as that was clearly part of the Gettysburg Campaign and was the largest cavalry action during the Civil War. I would have thought that would have been one of the minor engagements you could have fought in also, but it's not here. Just the Battle of Second Winchester, which is a Confederate attack on Union forces in the valley under General Ewell, as they're kind of advancing up and around the flank. That's basically allowing them to secure the Shenandoah Valley so they can get up into Pennsylvania and Maryland without the Union being aware of it. Brandy Station was also important there as well. But with that being said, let's worry about rebuilding our army first. Let's see here. So we've got 3 corps, really. The 4th corps is empty, but we've got 3 corps here we need to rebuild. The 1st corps is absolutely shattered. This corps is a shadow of its former self. You can see here basically all of the officers are dead or wounded. We've got a whole bunch of officers in the barracks that are ready to take commands back over, but we lost a lot of officers. Before we do that, actually, let's go ahead and assign the 3 career points we got from Salem Church and Chancellorsville. I'm going to go ahead and assign 2 to politics. That'll max out our politics, which ensures in future battles we'll get as many recruits as possible, as well as much gold as possible. So it'll help us to replenish our losses and build up a strong force. In addition to that, we're going to go ahead and use the 3rd point on medicine. That will actually give us more soldiers back as we fight battles and lose casualties. Right now, 10% of all our casualties are automatically restored to us. So actually, now that I think about it, we lost 26,000 men. We should get 2,600 back. So instead of being about 4,000 short, we'd probably be only about 1,000 short if we go ahead and put 21,000 replacements into the field. So we'll go ahead and spend that 3rd point here. So instead of getting 10% back after our next battle, we'll actually get 12%. Medicine is where I really want to focus going forward. Economy's high enough. Politics is maxed. Training and Army Org are high enough for the moment. Logistics and reconnaissance could be useful, but thus far I really haven't felt the pinch. Maybe logistics will be an issue before Gettysburg, given it's a 3-day battle. We were running low on ammo at Chancellorsville, but I guess we'll end up seeing. So let's go ahead and do the politics and the medicine. We'll go ahead and assign that. Yes, sir. And we'll go ahead and now we'll get more, not in our reputation section, but our Second Winchester reserves or replacements will go from, what was it, like 4,200 to, I don't know, something more than that. I think it was 4,000 before, and oh no, now it's up to 4,400. So you can see here we'll get 200 additional replacements thanks to those purchases, and we'll get more for Gettysburg as well. We were around 10,000 before, now we're over 11,000 replacements if we win the battle. If we lose the battle, we could survive technically right now, but we're going to be spending that reputation, so we'll probably really need to bank on a victory, or we will get fired. With that being said, let's go ahead and get back here and start rebuilding our force. First thing I'm going to do is actually focus on the 2nd and the 3rd corps. Those are going to be the corps that we're going to be fighting with, or actually one of them will be the corps that we'll probably end up fighting with in this upcoming battle. First things first, 3rd Corps is shy a 2nd Division commander. He was wounded, so we'll go ahead and give Alfred Leppin, a Major General, command of that division. And then, I don't know if I really want to build another division in this 3rd Corps or not. Let's avoid doing that for now. All right, so we've got a relatively veteran brigade, or at least modestly experienced brigade under Harvey Baylor in the 1st Division. They only need 15 replacements. So let's see here. Is there any reason to... We don't really lose anything for assigning rookies, so we'll go ahead and assign rookies to them. We're also going to go ahead and reinforce Bass, his brigade. He did not cover himself in glory in that last battle, but we'll assign him anyway. Again, not a ton of recruits. They're not terribly experienced. It's not a big penalty if we assign veterans instead of rookies. The biggest hit is going to be toward morale and stamina, which honestly don't really seem to affect it all that much in this gameplay for me. So we'll go ahead and use rookies there as well. We're going to go ahead and reinforce Ector's brigade additionally as well. So we'll go ahead and assign those troops. These guys are still reasonably experienced. It's not a ton of replacements. Again, 500 is decent. Actually, you lose, what, 6 efficiency, 12 morale, which morale is a little less important, but we also lose 5 firepower. If we were to go with veterans, it'll cost us 12,000. I don't really think it's worth that. So again, kind of being consistent here across the board with using rookie replacements. The 3rd Corps is our least experienced corps as well. So, you know, having a slightly less experienced brigade in this corps kind of fits the existing needs of the corps anyway. The one exception might be Post's brigade, which lost very heavily. They lost more than 50% of their manpower. And if we were to use veterans here, it would cost us 35,000, but it would keep this as a very good brigade. 50 efficiency, 44 stamina, 45 firearms. I think I'm going to bite the bullet here and spend the 30,000. I know I could mix and match, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. So rather than doing like 250 reserve rookies and 250 veterans, I'm just going to go ahead and assign all 1,000 veterans to this unit. Heinz's brigade is a little bit less experienced. They need fewer men. They'll need 400 men. And let's see here. The impact is only minor in terms of efficiency and firearms. I think there's no real benefit to doing veterans there. And we'll just kind of keep going through these forces and assigning reserves or replacements here as we see fit. I'll go ahead and use some veterans on Stark's units. It's ironic that the units that'll cost us the most, I'm also spending the most. Alright guys, I'm just jumping in here real quick. We're going to go ahead and jump around a little bit in the rearming of my forces. I don't think it's incredibly exciting for you all to watch me spend 20 minutes organizing my army and just kind of barely talking through it. So I'm going to jump ahead a bit toward the end of my rearmament so we can get closer to the battle here in this video. Alright guys, thanks. Given I don't think I'm going to ever try and equip a lot of troops with them. So we'll go with the... We're going to sell off about 3,300. These are just there as a reserve. Like if we ever get in a tricky spot with weapons and we can't figure out a way to get out of it, then I've got 5,000 just random weapons in reserve. But they're also a nice little, you need a little bit of more money so you can sell some stuff off and kind of balance your needs. There you go. 2,000. Colonel in charge. So 2-star brigade, Seth Price's brigade now. Almost fully built back up. So the whole 1st division is back. The whole 2nd division is back. The 3rd division is partially back. And I just got too many good troops. Like, I just can't afford to spend a lot because too many of these troops are good. They are a 2-star brigade.
Yes, sir.
I'm kind of balancing the reinforcements right now because I have limited reinforcements too, so. Okay. Alright, this brigade is pretty much totally inexperienced, which is fine because it makes it easier for me to go with rookies, but I don't have enough guns. So we'll downgrade you back to the Springfield and equip you. Okay. So just the 3rd division is a little bit under strength. We get these guys back. Alright, this will no longer be a 3-star brigade, but it'll at least be a 2-star brigade. So... It'll still be very good, even with these rookies. All right, so the 4th division is rebuilt. The 1st and 2nd divisions are rebuilt. The 3rd division is not quite rebuilt. But it's rebuilt about as far as I can get it without going bankrupt. Okay. Just gonna max out what I can do. About $3,300. I have 100 more recruits, so we're about 6, 7, 9, about 2,300 soldiers shy. We only have 1,000 more in reserve anyway, so that's fine. All right, go ahead and assign all of these traits. Again, for the infantry, for those 1 stars, it's going to be discipline. For the artillery, it's going to be logistics. We'll take a look at any 2 stars and see. It's going to be marksmanship. And there you go. Oh, don't forget Hodgkins. All right, so 1st Corps is done for now. Oh, by the way, I forgot about myself. So George B. Gamer finally got his 3rd star. That's us, folks. So we're going to go ahead and be a leader, which gives us more command radius and morale resistance, which allows us to hang out and fight better. The alternatives are speed and stamina, which speed might be nice. Stamina's kind of all of our units are almost maxed out. The 3rd one could be defense, which would be cover and melee. I don't find myself in a ton of melee situations. The cover might be nice, but I think the leadership is going to be better. It's going to make it more easy to command large bodies of forces. So there you go. We're bankrupt, no more money, and we are mostly rebuilt. If we go into the... Let's just check Gettysburg out, because it'll let us see how many troops we have in total in our force now that we've added the reinforcements. So you can see here we now have 92,000 soldiers, almost 93,000, 271 guns. Well, actually, that's a little bit less than 90,000 because some of those you get Buford's force. So we're at about 90,000 soldiers in our brigades. So I think that's a reasonable strength force. It says the enemy has 34,000, but I'm really hoping that's the initial enemy attack. I don't have a lot of details around that because we don't have the intelligence, the recon high enough. All right, so there you go. We've got 3 corps largely built up. The next battle is going to give us a maximum of 13 brigades. So I'm going to do something a little bit different now. Now that I've rebuilt everybody, I am going to go ahead and move some troops around. So we're going to go with the 3rd Corps, the least experienced corps. And let's see here. Let's make sure there are units that have rifles, so not this division. We'll go with... I don't know if we want to do the 2nd division, given the weapons they have. All right, let's go with the 1st division of the 3rd Corps is going to get assigned to Hancock's 4th Corps, which is currently empty. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, let's go into the map and see. So we can bring 13 brigades to the fight. The 4th Corps would consist of 5 brigades right now. So that means we can add 8 more brigades. So that 1st division was 5 brigades. As you can see here, those 5, so it's not counting the officers. Oh, shoot, I just realized we don't have any supply. Do we need supply assigned to our force for this battle? I'm going to risk it and say we don't. Although we could just drop some supply this way, because it doesn't cost us anything to do that. We can transfer supply as we see fit. We just have to remember to do it again before Gettysburg. So we'll transfer some supply that way. And we'll take... I want to do units that I have weapons that I know I'll be able to replace. Probably the 3rd division as well, which now gives us 10 brigades. Then we need 3 more brigades that we can bring in here. And let's do the 3rd division, mainly because these guys are overstrength a little bit. They've got cheap weapons, and they've also got a lot of cavalry. So go ahead and move the 3rd division in. And the 3rd Corps was actually shy a division. I don't have money to create a new division. I kind of would like to create a division so I can shuffle, exactly control what I've got in stock. Let's do this. Let's sell 1,000 more of these. $7,000 more. We're going to go ahead and create that division here because we do know that we need...
Sir, yes, sir.
We were still one division shy of a maxed out 3rd Corps, so that's fine. So what that'll let me do is then I can actually say, what do I want the 3 brigades to be? And the 3 brigades that we're going to bring to the field, given we're going to be on the defensive, we're going to go with... well, we're going to be on the defensive, so artillery is important. This cavalry is nice, but their weapons are expensive, so they'll be hard to replace if we lose casualties. So we'll keep the Palmetto and 1842s, which are really cheap to replace, and we've got a bunch in stock. We'll have 1 infantry brigade, 1 cavalry brigade, and 1 artillery battery in this 3rd division. That should give us the maximum number of forces, and then I can use this 3rd division as kind of a holding force to just let me shift forces around as I see fit. Additionally, now that we have the extra $2,000, why don't we use that on a few more replacements in Mahone's Corps? Not a ton, but, you know, another 70 or so men. Alright, we're not going to touch any brigades in the 1st Corps. It's already shot up enough, and they're so damn expensive to replace, but they are really good troops. Meanwhile, all of our troops here are just 1 stars. So they'll all have a good battle to get some experience in. So we'll go ahead and we'll go to Second Battle of Winchester, and after over a half an hour of me rebuilding my army, we're going to go ahead and actually fight now. Okay, so the 4th Corps under Winfield Scott Hancock, 13 brigades exactly, is going to fight the Second Battle of Winchester. General Ewell is advancing with his Confederate troops to Winchester. It is not clear if the rebels are planning to secure the lower Shenandoah Valley or preparing something bigger. In any case, we cannot afford to lose the control of the town. Winchester is a crucial post for the protection of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad corridor. We need to hold this strategic location and repel the rebel attack. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. Our scouts report that Ewell's corps is 2 miles west of the town and will soon be here. Deploy your men to protect Winchester. There are several defensive positions around the city. Okay. And this military post to the west. You'll probably be outnumbered, but if you use the defensive positions wisely, you could overcome their advantage in numbers. Alright. Looks like we've got our forces kind of deployed randomly around the battlefield already for us. Ugh, great. I'm assuming we want to put our troops... I'm not quite sure. Is this a defensive position? Yeah. I don't know what direction the enemy come from. I'm assuming the west. I'm trying to remember this battle, fighting it myself, but I don't think I have, actually. We'll go ahead and put some of our brigades into the woods here under some good cover. If the enemy does approach them, they should be shot to pieces. The enemy should. 1 brigade up here in the north. 1 brigade will go over here. I assume these are fortifications they can get behind, so 2 in these woods. We'll deploy a brigade. West and south is the direction. So, I don't really have much in terms of troops to the south that I can deploy. Alright, like, I have troops. I just don't have good defensive terrain. Maybe this housing complex. That gives good cover. Yeah, I don't want to deploy these guys in open fields. I guess I can put them back into the town. The town will have good defenses, so we'll do that. We'll just withdraw into the town. This 1 brigade's going to kind of guard this wood line over here in case the enemy tries to go around the flank. The rest of these guys will go into the town. And these guys will go into the defensive works. I'll send my cavalry south as well, doing some scouting. Actually, let's do this. We'll pull 1 infantry brigade, put it up north in this fortification area. We'll take this cavalry unit and deploy it in the south, and they'll kind of get to scout the enemy out as they approach. Okay, so we'll start, but then we're going to pause. And deploy these guys. Oh, this wood line here apparently is a defense. We'll put Peabody behind him. Baylor will defend this post. Frank will defend this post. Bass here. And actually, all right, so I think everybody's almost has their orders. The nice thing is, even though these are defensive posts, and I'm kind of leery given my experience of taking positions up here, if the enemy's coming at me, all of these advancing spots are pretty much in the open. The enemy's going to be in the open. So let's go ahead and... Do we have any... Move that artillery into the woods there. So one unit will be behind in the woods. The other unit will be up front in the melee or in the defensive works here. I've kind of got everybody moving where I think they need to be. Cavalry, we're going to go ahead and scout out ahead. We'll get them in a little bit in advance to detect where the enemy are. I don't know what this observation post is back here. I sure hope none of the troops are coming from the north. If they are, we're completely deployed wrong. And I'm going to blame all of you. Because you told me they'd be coming from the west and the south. I believed you. Okay. So these guys are already going that way. Let's get over here. Give a little bit of cover in case they try and advance in this position before. So, I mean, these guys are kind of already in the urban tiles. I know they're in the defensive works here. Covers 72% though. Only 72? What happens if I move them back into the town? Oh, wow. That's stupid. Why would the game do that? Like, you want to be in the town and get much better cover? Okay, I'll do that. The only exception might be these guys down here in this trench line because there's no urban tiles back here. Yeah, that's 100% cover. 96% cover. Alright, enemy skirmishers coming up. Get our supply wagon over here. These guys are in 100% cover. With a brigade to their rear. And artillery. These guys might be a little bit overextended, though. It might make sense to actually just pull back here. Let's do that. Let's get these guys in the town. I don't think they're a little bit too far forward, in my opinion. They're a little bit overextended. Let's move our cavalry back to that observation point over there. Alright, so the enemy is coming at us over here. I don't know if enemy artillery is inflicting a handful of casualties on Peabody's force, or if it's, you should be able to shoot over. In the past, you could always shoot over your defenders if the defenders were in forts. Alright, I don't want to abandon these woods. These woods are really good cover, so we'll use these woods as kind of our anchor, and then we'll kind of use the town as our southern defensive position. Again, I don't understand why it's like, oh, you're in a fence and you get better cover rather than just sitting them in the town itself. I wonder if Baylor's better off just withdrawing 5 feet into the woods. It was at 74 behind those fences. He's at not quite. Not quite. So the fence line here is a little bit better. Alright. It's kind of funny, but... see if the skirmishers are going to try and flank us. The good thing is we've got some cavalry over here that we're going to run down these skirmishers and destroy them. We've got to hold for 3 hours by the looks of it. I mean, our artillery's coming up from the north as well. Okay, so they may try and flank us. I guess we'll see. But we've got our cavalry up here to make sure they don't go around our flank. Alright, Hancock, get over there and support Porter. Your troops are getting charged. Wave charged, too. Morale is taking hits. Run, Hancock, run! Ah, shit. Get up there, Peabody. Alright, so Porter's fallen back into these woods, which maybe we can have Iverson fall back into as well. Alright, Iverson's flanked. Whoa, Hancock, don't get yourself killed now. Alright, so Lawman held barely for now. Meanwhile, Stewart's being driven back. Iverson was also driven back. Alright. Stewart's fallen back. Peabody get in the trenches. Ah, shit. Hancock. Get over here now. I don't have any reserves. That's an issue. I'm gonna pull these guys out. Okay, so Baylor hung on just barely. We're gonna pull Ector out of this sort of town area. I'm hoping this gap here isn't too big. I don't want so many of my troops to be just sitting, twiddling their thumbs. I don't usually have to worry about riding my officer around to make sure everybody is, you know, happy. But in this fight, it seems like I have to. I'm gonna move Iverson up here on the flank and try and roll their line up a bit. Alright, so... Baylor's being charged. General's riding over. Hancock, why do you kind of run away? That is not your trait. Oh god, Baylor's not really doing very well in terms of casualties inflicted versus received. God damn it. Alright, Hancock, rally those boys. Our position in the north is fine. Maybe fall back to the town? Alright, so we're bringing up some reserves. These guys are going to kind of have to be in the open to be able to bring their fire to bear, which I'm not thrilled about. Baylor's moving into the woods, so he'll be set up behind. And Lauman's losing a lot of casualties, despite 100% cover. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed this first part of the Battle of Second Winchester. We're just getting the fighting underway. We've deployed our forces in the town and in the entrenchments north of the town. We were pushed back from one position, but we've kind of re-centered ourselves on this wood line in the town as well. And I think we're holding off okay. We still have about 2 hours of, not actual gameplay, but just sort of the simulated time in game left to hold our positions. Our lines have kind of stabilized, but there's still quite a bit of fighting left to go. So again, this was taken from a live stream. I'm going to go ahead and cut in here. There's about a half an hour left of the battle, and we'll break this into 2 parts. Hope you guys enjoyed this first video of spending about half of it of me reorganizing my forces, and then finally getting into the actual battle. And I'm going to go ahead and jump out here. But thanks again for watching, guys, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer signing out.